What is up, guys? Welcome back to the James Hopkins Coaching channel. Now, in this video, I'm going to go through the 3 mindset shifts that you need to give your client to retain them for life so that you can obviously make more money in your business by keeping hold of the same clients, by getting them better results and keeping them sticking around for longer. Now, this is the absolute golden stuff that I share with some of my highest achieving 10, 15, 20k plus per month clients right now. So stick around till the end because I've got some really great stuff coming for you. So let's just dive in and get started with the 3 mindset shifts that your client needs to retain them for life. So why would you want to retain them for life? Well, obviously so that they keep paying your 4-figure monthly invoices. Now, we're going to dive into a few things. We've obviously got the 3 mindset shifts that I'm going to educate you on. But to begin with, why is setting client expectations is crucial to building a successful digital advertising business? Well, you know, your goal ultimately when running ads on behalf of your clients is to deliver solid results, right? And when we say results, we mean leads, but more importantly, we mean sales, we mean revenue, we mean return on investment, we mean that they're making back more money than they're actually paying you and also are spending on ads to get that result. So obviously, why do we need them to do that? And that's so that they continue to be a client and that they continue to pay your 4-figure monthly invoices, because retaining clients is much, much easier than finding new ones, right? So, one, if a client expects a result and that result doesn't materialize, they're not going to be a client for long, right? These are 3 things that you need to keep in mind before we go into the 3 mindset shifts that you need to give your client to retain them for life. But first of all, if a client expects a result that doesn't materialize, you know, they're not going to be a client for long, right? Number 2, if a client expects a result in a certain time frame and that result doesn't materialize, again, they're not going to be a client for long, because why would they, stick around if what they expected to happen isn't actually happening? And number 3, if a client isn't prepared for what is required to successfully run paid ads, testing, ad spend, time, what it takes to get a campaign performing, then they're not going to be a client for very long, right? Because they're going to feel let down. They're going to feel like what they expected to happen isn't working. Therefore, surely they can only expect, more of the same, right? Now, if you want to build a really, really successful digital advertising business working with clients of your own that ultimately retains clients for life, then you need to learn these 3 mindset shifts that I'm going to share with you throughout this video so that you're going to be able to keep your client happy and deliver wicked results. And all of that comes down to setting expectations and ensuring that your client has the right mindset and the right thought process when it comes to what's going to happen when they engage in a working business relationship with you to help them grow their business. Now, if you don't learn these 3 mindset shifts right now, this is ultimately what you're going to let happen. And this is what will happen. You'll lose business, you'll lose money, you'll have unpredictability in your business. And that's not what you want as a digital advertiser. You want people and you want clients who are going to stick around for the long term, because that gives you sustainability and naturally fulfillment and happiness in what you do, which is everything, right? Now, how many of you have experienced a situation a little bit like this when working with a new client? You know, you tell them to do this and they say, well, actually, no, we're going to do this instead. And then you say, well, that's not what I said, but okay. And they say, well, we've got no choice. I can't do the market research. I don't have those kind of images. I can't give something away for free. I can't do all these things which you tell me I need to do to run a successful campaign. And you say, okay, then you can try it. We can try it your way and let's kind of see how it goes. And then, 1 or 2 weeks later, you're sitting there with a dud campaign. You're sitting there with a campaign that is not producing leads. It's not working. You're spending money on things and you can't see any progress moving forward. The client's getting agitated and unsatisfied with the results ultimately, and then they come back to you, a couple of weeks later, a couple of weeks into it, saying, well, that didn't work out as well as I'd hoped, right? Or that didn't work. What we're doing is not working. We need to cut this off. We need to stop doing it, right? And you're going to be sitting there going, well, I told you it wouldn't, but it's not worked, so okay, thank you, see you later, bye, right? And the client, they're going to blame you because the campaign hasn't worked, despite them dictating how the campaign went. Now, that is absolutely not the client's fault. That's the digital advertiser's fault. That's the person who should have been leading with their expertise in the industry to make sure that client is getting and doing everything that's needed to be done for that campaign to work. Now, if you've experienced this problem, or you never want to experience this problem, then learning these 3 mindset shifts right now is literally going to be game changing to you and your digital advertising business. Now, you could be the best advertiser in the world, right, like David Ogilvy, but if your client doesn't have the right expectations, then you are screwed, because if expectations aren't met, there is always going to be disappointment. There's always then going to be some negativity towards it's not worked how I quite expected, what's going on, how can I trust you to continue doing, any more positive things moving forward, right? Breakdown of trust, breakdown of belief, breakdown of relationship, lost client, bye-bye, lost revenue, lost income. Something we don't want. So let's start with mindset shift number 1. I've got 3 absolute corkers that are really going to transform your business and the way your clients communicate, and ultimately the value that they get out of your service. So let's start with mindset shift number 1. You are the expert, and if they interfere or fail to comply, then their advertising won't work. So this is the mindset shift that you need to give your client in ways that I'm going to give you some actionable step-by-step advice on how to do that here as well. Now, let me put this into context for you. So when was the last time you went to the doctor, told them that their diagnosis of what was wrong with you was wrong, and that your cure of shoving bees up your ass was a better idea? When has that ever happened? Never, right? So why let your client dictate how a campaign goes? And you need to set that in their mind, that their mindset right from the beginning is that you are the expert and they need to do exactly as you tell them to do at exactly the right time, exactly when you tell them to do it, to get the best possible result working together or out of this campaign. Now, how do you go about doing that? Well, number 1, simple things like put it in writing before anything begins. And that any strain from your suggestions will ultimately result in a failed campaign, wasted ad spend, and no business growth, which is absolutely not what they want, right? Put it in writing. Email, service agreement, contract, however you want to do it, put it in writing so they can see it in black and white. That's going to go a long way to helping stop that from happening. Use an example, not like the above, shoving bees up your ass, right? Probably best not using that one to a client. I mean, you could do. But use an example like the above of a situation where they wouldn't go to an expert, get an expert's advice, and then do the complete opposite, all right, or not do what the expert said, right? Give them as a real world example. It's no different here to going to the doctor, right? To getting advice from a lawyer, right? Any of these kind of things, and finally, give clear lists of what you need from them to get them a result, the market materials, the research, and if you don't get these things, these types of images, the types of research that you need, that this campaign is not going to work and the client is not going to get the result that they ultimately want from working with you, right? This needs to be the first mindset shift that you give your prospects and your new clients before you pick up anything to start work on their campaign. Mindset shift number 2. Paid advertising generates new customers and obviously dollars and money on demand for your client's business. Therefore, it's like growing a money tree, because you put, $1 in, and once the whole thing is up and running, refined, tested, optimized, you get $3, $4, $5 out in new client business, new customer business for your clients, right? Now, money trees, like all trees, take time, they take investment to grow and mature before they're actually ready to harvest. Right? Now, what do I mean by this? Well, like building a paid ad campaign on behalf of a client, it doesn't just spring up out of the ground overnight and, oh my God, it's working. We're getting loads of clients and customers coming in from it and we're making, 10 times our money that we're spending. It doesn't work like that, right? Now, you need to make it clear right from the very beginning that there is work required and there is time and investment required to grow this money tree. Often that money tree can grow in the first month, but it might take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 months for that money tree to start producing money. Right? Now, make it clear right from the beginning that you're planting and growing a money tree for them by building them a system that turns, $1 in ad spend into $5 in new customers. And this money tree, if nurtured and grown to the point where it's going to fruit, it will feed them forever. Right? Use this money tree analogy to describe the process of what's going to happen when you're designing, when you're setting up your paid advertising campaigns for your client. Now, your client needs to expect results aren't going to happen. When we say results, sales, revenue, return on investment, profit, ultimately, they're not going to happen overnight, right? Because we've got to grow and nurture that money tree. And the first month is ultimately required to start seeing leads, right? The first month is about starting to produce leads, but not necessarily sales and money and return on investment for the client, because the money tree isn't ripe. It's not ready to be harvested yet. It's not yet fruiting. Sales and revenue come later. So don't let them set the expectation from the beginning that month 1 is not about, 10x in your money or even 5x in your money. Right? It's about identifying what's going to work and what's not so that you can focus your resources and budget and ad spend on those areas that are working throughout months 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. Right? Now, testing is required, and in order to test images, copy, audience targeting, etc., all the things that we know need testing to produce a profitable campaign, there needs to be sufficient time and a financial expectation set here that this is not just going to, start working like overnight. It doesn't work like that. Right? There needs to be that expectation that the first few months or so are going to be about testing. Right? So let me put it to you like this, like stomping on the sapling when it's not even started shooting leaves yet because it's not bearing fruit is only going to result in wasted time and ad spend as well as no mature money tree, right? You're basically killing things before they're even given a chance to actually start working. And thirdly, mindset shift number 3, and I've got a couple more goodies for you after this slide as well, so make sure you're sticking around for that. But mindset shift number 3 is that ROI isn't made in the first month, right? Profit and money and returns from paid ad campaigns, it's not made in the first month of designing and setting up a brand new paid advertising campaign. Return on investment, profit, sales, revenue coming back from paid advertising, it's a compounding result with the right nurture strategy, because every month your lead list is going to grow, or your client's lead list is going to grow. Every month you're going to have more leads to nurture and follow up with. Right? And we don't just discard those large percentages of leads who aren't ready to buy immediately like a lot of people think we do. That is where the money is. That is where the profit is in paid advertising. Now, generating leads for a business is the first step in generating sales. Right? The sales don't come before leads come, right? Leads come before sales. We need leads in order to make sales. But that doesn't mean that immediately as soon as we get leads that we're automatically going to start making sales. Again, it doesn't work like that, right? Only around 1% to 10% of leads, depending on the industry and the campaign, will turn into sales in the first month of running a campaign. That may mean in some industries and some areas that it's profitable from month 1, but for many with longer lead times, with longer sales cycles, like buying a house, like getting a mortgage, these kind of things, People don't see an ad and then convert the following day. For a new house, they see an ad. They might click on it. They might download, a list of homes for sale in the area, something like that as a lead magnet. But they're not just going to see a house and buy the following day or even in the first month. It's going to take them 3, 6, even up to 12 months to actually, curate sales from some types of lead campaigns. Now, that doesn't mean that the campaign isn't working. It doesn't mean that, it's a waste of time or waste of money for the client. What it means is if the mindset and expectations of clients aren't managed from day one, that the client is going to be disappointed, right? And they're going to feel like what you're doing is not working. Therefore, they're not going to stick around, right? So if only 1 to 10% of leads are actually ready to convert, in the first month, what do we do with the other 90 to 99% of leads just because they're not, ready to buy like immediately? But over the following months, a growing percentage will become ready to buy. The trust will grow with the business, right? As long as there's the right nurture and follow-up elements to a campaign in place, then, those leads, more of those 90 to 99% of leads are going to be ready and are going to be willing to start buying and spending money. And thus, this is where the profit in campaigns comes from. But many people just disregard the 90 to 99% of leads because they don't convert immediately, right? Now, the follow-up and nurture part of your long-term strategy is where the return on investment comes from for your client, as that audience and list of leads grows, compounds out each month, right? And with that, each month's earning potential compounds out as well, right? So if you've got a client and you don't manage these expectations and you don't set these mindset shifts in place right from day one, you're setting the campaign and that client and this relationship up for failure, because you're not giving the client you're not giving yourself and the campaign the time and the resources that it needs to grow and nurture that money tree, so that when it is ready to, fruit starts sprouting fruit and be harvested, that, you can get that profit and that return on investment out of it. But you're not going to get there without the right mindset shifts in place in your client, because they're going to pull the plug, right? If things are happening that they're not expecting, or they feel like it's not working, they're going to pull the plug before they get anywhere near where they need to be to see a profit. So if the campaign stops after month 1 because leads aren't converting and the ROI isn't there immediately, which it often won't be, they're essentially stamping on the sapling before it's bearing fruit. Sounds insane, right? It's like planting an apple tree and within 2 months seeing a little green shoot coming out of the ground and then going, well, it's not sprouting apples. It's a waste of money, a waste of time. It's not working. Boom, stamp on the sapling. It's never going to have the year or 2 years that it needs to start bearing fruit. I'm not an apple farmer, so I don't know what the time frames are on growing apples, but you get the idea. Right? In digital advertising, it takes time to grow and nurture the money tree, and it takes time and investment and patience and understanding on behalf of your client to do what's necessary to get the result that they want, which is a money tree ad campaign that's going to feed them and their business with new customers and new prospects, and new sales and ROI. So the need to set the right expectations and prepare your client's mindset going into an agreement. Now, as rising ad costs have made this advertising principle even more important in recent years, this is why it's important for both your own business and your client's business to lead with the right expectations and shift your client's mindset on advertising before you even start working together. Because this is going to ensure for you that, 1, your client has a positive experience, gets awesome results, and sees their business grow exponentially while working with you long term. And number 2, that you enjoy your work more because your clients appreciate and understand what's required to get them results with paid advertising. And that's going to give you more motivation and enjoyment to actually continue working hard in your business, to continue finding clients, to continue servicing them, to continue getting them results, to continue growing your business and making more money, which is ultimately why you are here. Number 3, you make more money and experience more sustainability in your business as you retain clients for longer, and they refer you to their existing network. So by focusing on results and managing the right expectations and giving your clients the 3 mindset shifts that are needed to secure lifelong relationships, guess what? It's going to make you a hell of a lot more money too. So I hope that this video and what I've taught you today about the 3 mindset shifts for retaining your clients for life is really going to help you keep those clients for longer, obviously make more money and enjoy working in your business more, because you're going to be providing even better results and keeping that client satisfaction up. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, remember to hit subscribe, like, leave me a comment down below, and there are plenty more videos for you to check out as well. So have a look on my YouTube channel, and I hope they all help you smash your business goals. All right, cool. Thanks for watching. Peace out.